I have to forewarn you that we're going to be using that good old R word that really I don't think that the YouTube algorithm likes us saying, but we have to be able to kind of describe these things in detail. So I don't want you guys to be alarmed about what I'm going to talk about with the individual that you guys see on my screen who is accused of doing the unthinkable. And I think that his actions should suffer the fullest penalty under law. But let me give you a disclaimer about the content first, so you don't be shocked. You already know what's up. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And this story is coming from 11alive.com, so thank you for the article. Athens, Georgia. Georgia is taking another L for this one. A Georgia mother is grateful after a historic case lands the man who RAPED'd her daughter in prison for life. A jury found this fool right here. Let me back it up so y'all can see it. That's his name. This fool. This damn idiot. A jury found Michael Lareco Daniel guilty on 7 charges, including RAPE, incest, and child molestation. And I know some of y'all are wondering, how incest? How incest? Well, let's explain it. The girl was only 14 years old when her mom found disturbing text messages on her phone and started asking questions. 11 Alive is not naming the girl or the mother to protect the child's identity. Both have different last names than the father. He had a lot of times was asking her to come into our home office with him, and if she didn't respond, he would ask her to delete the messages, the mother said. But the trial almost didn't happen. So check this out. The Athens Clarke County District Attorney's Office dismissed this case in 2023 after picking a jury because it decided it did not have enough evidence. That's in part because the prosecutor, Robert Wilson, admitted that he failed to subpoena a key witness. The announcement blindsided the family, including the daughter at the center of the case, thought the trial was ready to start. I was shocked, and then I became kind of angry because I wasn't understanding, the mom said. That's when she found out that Athens attorney Kevin Epps, who agreed to file what's believed to be the first lawsuit in Georgia for Marsy's law violation. Marsy's law represents the constitutionally protected rights victims of violent crimes have in Georgia. Among them, the right to be notified and speak at hearings where a major decision like dismissing a case is made. The judge hearing the family's Marsy's Law case agreed the girl's rights had been violated. The Athens DA's office also agreed to recuse themselves from the case, allowing the judge to request the state to appoint a new prosecutor to reassess the merits of the case. The responsibility fell on Randy McGinley, the district attorney for the Alcovy Judicial Circuit, who decided the case should be reindicted. On Friday, proudly wearing a shirt proclaiming "Always and Forever Girl Power," the girl's mother expressed her gratitude to those at the Cottage, a sexual assault and children's advocacy center in Athens. She also thanked the Alcovy Judicial Circuit for following through with the case. So I can skip some of this. The mother shared that when it comes to children, she wants the parents to pay attention to the signs. She knew something was wrong and was committed to doing right by her daughter. So let me see. When it comes to fighting for justice, make sure that you get the justice that you deserve, because it could have easily taken that dismissal and not do anything about it, but it just didn't sit well with me, she said. But a jury which heard testimony from both the daughter and the mother clearly disagreed. They only deliberated for 45 minutes before returning with their guilty verdict. While the judge sentenced Daniel to life in prison plus 50 years, inmates are eligible for parole much sooner. Daniel will have to serve at least 25 years. However, because in Georgia, that charge comes with a mandatory minimum sentence. We're really emotional and we cried, happy tears, but sad as well because it's really bittersweet because we're talking about her father. That's the case. That's the situation. That's why it's incest involved. Her biological father. What do you say to that? People like this cannot be rehabilitated. They need to be punished and they need to just be gotten rid of out of our society. And that's just the end of it. Okay? Let me give you guys the fair usage and let you hear the news videos. Some viewers may find the following content offensive. That is correct, but here we go. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. The fact that you couldn't even trust your own father in this situation is just beyond ridiculous. But let me give you guys these couple of news videos. Here we go.
Well, Justin, tonight a father will spend life in prison for raping his teenage daughter, but this case almost didn't happen. This is a new development following an 11 Alive investigation. Now, we're not saying the father's name to protect the girl's identity. Last year, the Athens-Clarke County District Attorney's Office dismissed the charges without telling the family. That led to the first Marsy's Law case in Georgia and the judge's decision to assign a special prosecutor to re-examine the allegation. Well, today, a jury found the father guilty of rape, incest, and aggravated sexual battery.
Well, only on 11 Alive tonight, a mother filled with gratitude and relief after a historic case lands the man who raped her daughter in prison for life.
The Athens-Clarke County District Attorney had dismissed the case last year, saying it didn't have enough evidence. 11 Alive investigator Rebecca Lindstrom explains how this case landed in front of a jury anyway.
It only took the jury 45 minutes to deliberate and find Michael Oreco-Daniel guilty of rape, incest, and child molestation. For nearly a year, we have talked about Marsy's Law, the constitutionally protected rights given to victims in Georgia. And this is the case that started it all. Last May, 11 Alive was the only camera in the courtroom for the state's first Marsy's Law hearing, as a mother told the judge how the Athens-Clarke County DA's office violated her daughter's rights. We're not showing the mother to protect the girl's identity. She was only 14 years old when her mom found disturbing text messages on her phone.
He was a lot of time asking her to come into our home office with him, and if she didn't respond, he would ask her to delete the messages.
But the day of the trial, without warning, the prosecutor dismissed the charges.
I was shocked, and then I became kind of angry because I wasn't understanding.
Today, proudly wearing a shirt proclaiming girl power, the mother remembers the judge finding for the first time in Georgia a DA's office guilty of violating Marsy's Law. About a month later, that same judge requested that a prosecutor outside of the DA's office look at the case.
If I didn't have these attorneys, we wouldn't have went back to court, but I also wouldn't have found out how bad they messed up our case because they just wanted me to think that it wasn't enough evidence.
This week, Michael Oreco-Daniel went on trial, and the jury found him guilty on every count. The rape charge alone comes with a mandatory minimum of 25 years in prison.
We were really emotional, and we cried. Happy tears, but sad as well. I think the healing will actually start.
Despite the outcome for this family, I don't think we're going to start seeing a wave of Marsy's Law cases. That's because most of the time it's just a public acknowledgement that something went wrong. There's no money, and rarely will it lead to a case like this being re-indicted.
All right, Rebecca, thank you so much.
Like, I don't know that they mentioned if he had a criminal past. Maybe he doesn't. But there had to have been some signs there of this man being a pedophile, and just the fact that this girl, this daughter, this young girl was violated by her own father. And I'm sure there were probably many more incidents that probably are not going to even get brought up that he was involved in regarding his daughter. It's really sad. It's outrageous. And I don't think people like this can ever be rehabilitated. I think that situations like this, upon a guilty verdict, they should have life in prison without the possibility of return. Period. There should be no parole. There should be no thought of a minimum sentence, maximum sentence. It should just be the end. Period. Should never see the light of day. Animals like this just have to be locked up and put down. Let me know what you guys think about this story. To that young girl, Princess, we pray for you. We're keeping you in our thoughts and prayers that you can make a full recovery emotionally, spiritually, all of that good stuff, and that you can grow up and still become something great. You have an opportunity to do that, and I would just ask that the mother be more diligent when it comes to who you choose for a man, not just choosing somebody you can be happy with, but choosing somebody that actually is a good father, because he wasn't. That's not to cast any aspersions on the mother or anything like that, but at the same time, we still have to be very, very careful about who we choose, okay? Let me know what you guys think. Thank you.